Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm doing a slightly different video today. I'm going to be doing a voiceover. I thought it would be a good idea to try it out. Let me know what you think. As usual, everything that I'm using will be listed in the description box down below. Enjoy the video. Woo. So I'm taking my MAC Prep and Prime Natural Radiance Primer in yellow. I love this primer. It's so buttery and nourishing. It feels like a regular moisturizer, to be honest. That's why I love using it so much. Next, I'm taking my Livetinted Hueglow in Dusk. Honestly, this stuff is beautiful. I'm going to get the glossiest finish, just you wait. Just wait till I rub it into my skin. This is basically like skincare meets a liquid illuminator. It's so beautiful. Look at that bronze glow, I love it. Now onto corrector. This is the Livetinted Huestick in the shade Rise. I use this shade to correct any hyperpigmentation, but these are also multi-purpose, so I could actually use this as a blush or a lipstick or on my eyes. They're also packed with hyaluronic acid and vitamin C and lots of other amazing skincare ingredients. I'm now taking my NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation in the shade MOOREA. It squirted out really watery at first, which was kind of weird, so I had to give it another shake because it actually applies a lot thicker than that. There you go, that's so much better. I have an array of undertones in my skin, but for the most part, I would say more of a neutral kind of skin tone. However, I can get away with wearing foundations that have a stronger yellow pigment, like this one. Now onto my Fenty Beauty Match Stix in the shade Cognac. I love using this to cream bronze my cheekbones and my nose, as you can see here. And then I also like to use this on my forehead as well. It blends out so smoothly and it feels really lightweight on the skin. It doesn't take long to get a nice seamless finish either. When it comes to blending out my nose, I just use a slightly smaller, denser brush and just blend it out really softly. Next, I'm taking my Kevyn Sensual Skin Enhancer in the shade SX08, and I like to tap this in with my finger before I blend it out with my sponge. It is a pretty thick concealer, but honestly, a little bit goes a long way. And that's why I like to apply it with my fingers first. That way it kind of just melts into my skin before I get the sponge on it. As you can tell, I love a bright under eye. Once that's done, I just go back in with my cream bronzer brush and just go over the edges again, just to make sure that everything is blended in really seamlessly. I'm back with another Livetinted Huestick. Can you tell I'm a fan? This is the shade Free and I'm using it on my cheeks. Look at the pigment, and all I'm doing is patting it really softly into my cheeks. Cult Beauty are now stocking Livetinted as well, so I'm super excited for that. As you can see, it's extremely pigmented, and I'm just going to go over very lightly with my sponge just to make sure that it's perfectly blended in everywhere. I'm now taking the same damp sponge and I'm applying my Mercier Transluscent Original Finishing Powder, and I'm just using this to set my concealer and also to keep my under eyes looking nice and bright. Just for a little bit extra warmth, I'm taking my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer in the shade Deep, and I'm just packing that onto the sides of my face, the outer edges. I don't want to get too into the blush. I don't want the blush to disappear underneath the bronzer. Then I take my Vitamin E spray from Superdrug and lightly spray my face. I always do this before applying powder highlight. Then I take my ABH highlighter in So Hollywood. It's so buttery and so smooth, and it also helps that I sprayed my skin before I applied it. It just makes the highlight look like it's really melted into my skin. I'm now going into my brows with my MAC Shape and Shade brow pen in the shade Spiked. And I'm just going to take this into the areas where I'm slightly patchy or have a little less hair. I love using felt pens in my brows because it just gives you that perfect hair-like effect. I'm now taking my Too Faced Melted Chocolate Matte Eyeshadow in the shade Chocolate Malt. As you know, in my previous videos I have used Cocoa Cream, which is the really light creamy shade, but I had to go back and get another shade. This is slightly more neutral and a little bit darker, not too light. Eyeshadow sits on this perfectly. I would highly recommend this as a primer. We're finally onto eyes, and I'm taking my Morphe Fierce by Nature palette. Most of these brown shades look the same, but I'm just taking this one and I'm going to take it straight into my crease with a nice fluffy brush. I'm really working it into my socket until it looks as seamless as possible. I usually get the best blend by applying the eyeshadow in circular motions. As usual, I'm taking it to connect my nose contour a little bit and then into my brows as well. Not gonna lie, all the shades were overwhelming me in this palette because it all looked the same. I had a bit of an itch, my bad. As you can see, I was no longer inspired by my Morphe palette, so I reached for my Charlotte Tilbury Dolce Vita palette. I just grabbed this warm bronze shade and placed it on my lid. I really didn't know what kind of look I was going for. All I know is that I wanted the eyes to be simple with a little bit of a sparkle. So here I am, just softly buffing it in and connecting it to my crease shade. There's a gorgeous bronze shade in this palette as well, which is best applied with the finger because it really picks up on the extra sparkle. It wasn't really giving me the look that I was going for still, but as you can see, I was really trying to work it into my lid. How annoying am I? I ended up going back to my Morphe palette and grabbing this gorgeous bronze glitter from the centre of the palette. This is definitely what I needed, and it did take me a while to get there, but in the end it worked out perfectly. Nice and bronzy and sparkly. Wow, then I went back to the Charlotte Tilbury palette and I grabbed this slightly cooler tone brown, and it's quite deep in comparison to the other bronze shades, and I just placed it on the inner and outer corner of my eyelids to give it like a really soft and subtle spotlight effect. Finally, taking that first crease colour shade that I used from the Morphe palette, I'm now buffing that into my lower lash line. Oh, yep, getting right into the lash line. Next is my favourite, it's COSTA RICHE eye pencil from MAC. It's like a warm, reddy brown, and I'm just placing that into the waterline. I'm sticking with natural lashes for this look, so I'm taking my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes Mascara. It's a mouthful, but honestly gives my lashes the most amazing lift and all the volume that you could possibly need, and I highly recommend it. It's so beautiful, look at that. Honestly, look how long my lashes look. Now onto the lips, but before I do that, I've got to remove my lip balm on the back of my hand. Yep, classy. I ended up picking a MAC lip pencil in the shade Night Moth. It's like a purpley pink shade, and I just lined the edges of my lips and slightly curved my Cupid's bow and overlined a little bit. I wanted to do a really bright, bold lip, but I wanted to keep the edges really defined and sharp with a deeper tone, so this was the perfect lip pencil for that. Now onto my lip palette from ABH. How rank is this palette? It's so dirty, I should have cleaned it beforehand. I am not embarrassed. I wanted to mix a pink and a red together, so I'm applying the pink shade first. This lip palette is so underrated. The pigment for these lipsticks are actually so creamy and smooth. They apply so easily as well. Now I'm taking the red and I'm just layering it on top of the pink, and I'm getting the most beautiful raspberry kind of shade. At this point, I'd forgotten to do some highlighter on my inner corners and underneath my brows. So I just took my same ABH highlighter in So Hollywood and just got a precision brush, and I just put it right on the inner corners and then just the arches of my brows, where I then blended it out so it wasn't too harsh. Okay guys, this is the finished look. I love it. The skin is glowing. Ooh. Any way I move, you can literally just see the gloss, okay? It's just beautiful. This is just beautiful. I love it. It's all the Livetinted Hueglow. The lip is also popping. I haven't worn a pink lip like this in ages because I don't really wear pink. This lip is not kiss proof, by the way. You will only be kissing each other through the phone, okay? Social distancing. I feel like I don't want the eyes to be that much of a focus, so that's why I just stuck to mascara. But if you wanted to put on some lashes, like by all means put on some lashes. I had a really good time filming this, and I think it was also because I was watching To All the Boys Always and Forever on Netflix. Waiting for the cast to pass. If this is giving you some serious Valentine's Day inspiration, then let me know. I think this is a pretty simple look, to be honest, you know. I hope you have a great Sunday, and thank you so much for watching.